Well, hello, and welcome to the best football show. You can find this football show wherever you download your apps. You can download your Odyssey app for free. You can like it, subscribe to it, and follow this program. We're here nearly every day, especially leading up to the draft. And you can follow me at Baldy NFL on a variety of platforms. I've been putting a lot out there on X and on Instagram, along with TikTok, YouTube, you name it. So the exercise I'm doing right now is I'm listing my top 32 players, anticipating 32 first-round picks. And I've divided the group of 32 first-round picks into three different sections. I went through the difference makers. That was the first 11 picks in previous podcasts. I'm now going through my next 11. That is picks 12 through 22. And I'm calling this group, this tier group, No Fear. And that is no fear in drafting these players. You know, I think that they're clean. I think their production, I think the way they tested, the way they interviewed, their pro days, combined with their college tape is going to get them drafted. Now, some of these guys might jump into tier one. Some of them might fall back into tier three as we get closer. Remember, this right now is being taped on Tuesday, April 15th. So we are 9 days away from the NFL draft in Green Bay. Let me just quickly go through the 11 players, then we can come back and hit on some of them. But I've got the talented right tackle from Missouri, Armand Membu, as my 12th best player in this draft. He could easily go into tier one because there's going to be a debate. Who's the first offensive lineman taken? It could be Membu. It could be Will Campbell. I like Campbell a little bit better for his 3 years at LSU, but some teams might like the upside of Membu, the athletic ability, the arm length, and what he did at Missouri the last couple of years. My next player is the running back from North Carolina, Omarion Hampton. All right, Omarion Hampton is, to me, running back number 2, right behind Ashton Jeanty. I believe 2 running backs will go in the first round in this draft. I believe both Jeanty and Hampton will both get selected. And not for any other reason except they're really good players and they're difference makers. All right. My next player is my number 1 wide receiver after Travis Hunter, and that's Matthew Golden from University of Texas. The guy's a blazer. I mean, not just because he ran a 4.29 at the combine or ran a 10-yard split in 1.48, the fastest of all receivers, but he's a good player. And he got a chance this year, you know, with Xavier Worthy and some of the other Texas receivers moving on. He got a chance to really shine. My next player is right behind him. And you can debate these receivers all you want, but Ted McMillan from Arizona, I mean, at 6'4" and an eighth or 6'4" and a quarter, 219 pounds. I mean, basically 6'4", 220. And unbelievable production the last 2 years at Arizona. Now, you can go back and watch this kid going back to high school in Western Oahu in Hawaii and watch some of the things he did on a basketball court. You know, I mean, just his ability to jump, the acrobatics, the ability to track a ball. All right, I've got him there. Then I've got the talented corner from Michigan, Will Johnson. Now, he got hurt this year. He might have been. Now, I've got both Travis Hunter at corner and Jahdae Barron as difference makers going in my top 11 picks. But, you know, right there is Will Johnson. I mean, you go back to 2023, watch his interception reel. Watch him take the ball away on the national championship team of Michigan. It's elite. All right, he is you need corners. They're going to go early. Corner, you want corners. You remember last year, Quinyon Mitchell, Terrion Arnold. Like, these guys don't last long. And generally, once one goes, the next one goes pretty quick. Teams spend first-round picks and high first-round picks on cornerbacks that have elite traits. All right, the defensive player of the year this year with Denver, was a first-round pick. I mean, these guys don't last long in the draft. My next pick is a receiver, and I believe there could be a run on receivers. You're seeing it in this board right here, but Emeka Egbuka from Ohio State is that player. So this is 3 receivers taken within 4 picks. So you can slot these guys any way you want. I got Egbuka as the 3rd best receiver, and some days I feel like he's the 2nd. But he was there catching passes from C.J. Stroud. All right, he's waited his turn with whether it is guys like Chris Olave or guys like Garrett Wilson or Marvin Harrison Jr. He's just been waiting his turn. And he's 6'1". He's 202 pounds. He's sturdy. He wins from the slot when other guys were outside, but he can play outside. Egbuka. My next player is my first corner, and it's Nick Emmanwori right there. He tested off the charts. And the testing is good. You can jump 43 inches. It's great. You can run in the 4.3s. It's great. But he's 6'3", and he's 220 pounds. He's a big safety that can move with production. All right. At South Carolina. South Carolina has a lot of good players in this draft. But he's a guy that, look, it's hard to sometimes draft safeties just because the game is so different in college that the versatility you need, the ability to cover, some of the things that you're looking for don't always show up in these college games because of the spread formations and at the tempo that they play at. You don't see a lot of safety blitzes. You don't see a lot of safety man-to-man coverages. So it's just hard. But, his tape is really, really good. My next player is Tyler Booker. He's my first interior offensive lineman off the board. I met Tyler Booker last year at the offensive line masterminds when the entire offensive line from Alabama, the starting offensive line, the top 7 players, all came to offensive line masterminds in Frisco, Texas in July last year. And he came up and introduced himself to me, looked me in the eye and asked me if I would sit down and watch tape with him. And he wanted to see what I had to say about technique, about scheme, about things that he could improve upon. I just think anybody that does that at age 20, whatever he was at the time, I think he was 20 years old. I think he's all of 21 now. And then you look at him and you go, right next to him, in the table next to us, is Trey Smith, who's been starting for 4 years at Kansas City, who came out of Tennessee. And maybe Trey Smith ran a little faster than Tyler Booker, but they remind me of each other. Like, I believe my comp for Tyler Booker is Trey Smith. He's just a block of granite. He's every bit of 6'4", with long arms, 330 pounds. He protects his quarterback. He does, he ran a slow 40 time at the combine. I don't care. It has nothing to do with how you play offensive guard. Tyler Booker is a plug-and-play guy. Like the 49ers picking, in the back half of the first round, they got to replace Aaron Banks. They drafted Dominic Pooney in the 3rd round out of Kansas last year. Like, I can see San Francisco going, okay, we're going to sign Brock Purdy. We got to get McCaffrey going. We got to get, the offense back on track. I can see them saying, let's plug Tyler Booker into next to Trent Williams, and let's get this offensive line back and running and becoming an elite group. And he would help. My next player is quarterback, Shedeur Sanders. Like, some people don't want to like Shedeur. I like him. I've met him. I don't think he's got an elite arm, but that's not a reason not to like him. The guy has run 5 different offenses in college football since the day he stepped on the campus at Jackson State. Like, Deion coached him when he was in high school and before that. He's run all these different offenses. This year he ran a Chip Kelly, up-tempo spread offense. He wasn't under center once. He was in shotgun. They didn't have a good offensive line. They didn't have a good tight end. They didn't have a good back. They had Shedeur and 4 receivers, including, Travis Hunter. That's what they had to work with. So Pat Shurmur, the new offense coordinator, that's what he installed. He installed Chip Kelly's spread offense. Inside receivers, outside receivers, with tempo. We're going to get the ball out of your hand fast. We're going to have, quick reads, pre-snap reads. But, we'll figure out, when it's 3rd and 16, we got to hold it. We got to hold the ball and wait for these routes to develop. And so what you saw was uncanny deep ball accuracy, one big play after another, and game-winning throws against Baylor. I mean, you just go through, a bunch of the games to get them the 9 wins. I like Shedeur Sanders. Like I said, I don't think he has an elite arm. I don't care if he pats the ball before he throws it, like a lot of people wanted to say after his pro day. A lot of quarterbacks pat the ball, including a guy who has worked with him in Tom Brady. But Shedeur Sanders is one of these guys that I have in the second tier. Like, I have no fear next to Shedeur's name because I have no fear that he's going to be professional. He's going to go to work. He's going to be serious about his craft. He's not going to be doing anything stupid off the field. Like, he's been raised the right way. He's got good character. The things you need to be a good leader. I don't think he wants anything given to him. I think he wants to go earn it. And so I feel like with the situation that has developed in New Orleans, where Derek Carr might not be ready and might not play this year with major shoulder concerns, like I could see Kellen Moore, the new head coach in New Orleans, I could see them taking Shedeur with the 9th pick. If he's there. I mean, the New York Giants on Thursday, all right, April 17th, they're all flying out to Boulder, Colorado for a private workout with Shedeur. We just found that out yesterday. This is after they spent a day with him in Boulder on April 4th. They all want to go back out there. They want to make sure there's nothing they haven't missed. Like, you can see they're doing their homework. Like, I don't know that I've seen a group, whether it's Joe Shane or Brian Dable. I saw Mike, the wide receiver coach for the Giants, blanking on his last name for a second. Hold on. But Mike's been around. Shucks, his dad used to coach for the Giants. But anyways, the wide receiver coach. I mean, they're all flying back out there. So I can see if Shedeur gets past the Giants at 3, I can see the Saints being really interested. Kellen Moore's not in the hot seat no matter what happens. They're not in an organization that's going to be one and done in the same. Kellen Moore's got time, especially if he gets a rookie quarterback and a rookie quarterback that's got to play. My next player is Mike Green from Marshall. And I first heard about Mike from his agent during the season. And his agent asked me if I would take a look at some tape on him. I don't think he was his agent yet. I think he was recruiting Mike to become a client, and asked me if I would take a look at Mike Green's tape at Marshall and tell him what I thought. So I saw what a lot of people see. I see like real speed off the edge. I see a big body at almost 6'4", 250 pounds. I see a great takeoff. So I saw that at Marshall, a really good game against Ohio State when he had to play up. But when I went to the Senior Bowl this year in Mobile, and look, this is, and I've said this, and I'm going to continue to say it all the way through the draft next week. This is a deep and talented defensive line draft. All right. And Mike Green is part of that at every position. Defensive tackle, 3 technique, defensive end, outside edge rusher. It's a deep draft. But when I watched the drills at the combine this year for the defensive linemen, literally Mike Green was number 1 in every single drill. Jumped right to the front of the line. Wanted to be the first one. And there was Mike Tomlin and Mike Vrabel and a bunch of defensive line coaches in the league, all like running him through these drills. And then when they got to one-on-ones, one-on-one pass block and all this stuff, Mike Green was first one up. Said something about the kid. He wasn't afraid of losing rep, wanted as many reps as he could get in front of all the talent scouts. He knew he started at Virginia, transferred to Marshall, wanted to really leave his mark at the Senior Bowl, and I thought he did. And then my last one is a South Jersey kid from Williamsport, out of Boston College, Donovan Azariaku. Now, Donovan has great tape at Boston College. He's got great tape. He's got sacks, tackle for losses. He's basically, almost 6'3", 245, 248 pounds with elite takeoff. He's an edge player. He basically plays in a 2-point stance at Boston College, but he's got really good movement. And I've done breakdowns on him. He hit me up yesterday. He might drop down into the bottom tier, but when I say there's no fear in drafting these guys, you don't have to worry about Donovan. A buddy of mine, Brandon Baldinger, coached him growing up, in South Jersey. There's a bunch of really good South Jersey kids in this draft, all been coached at some elite programs in New Jersey. But Donovan is a guy who's got great tape. And, he's right on the border. Like, he's my last player in the no fear category of my top 32, or my second tier players, in my top 32 players. He's right there at 22. Could he drop back, and could somebody from tier 3 drop up? Absolutely. But regardless, like, I've got basically 10 defensive linemen taken in the top 32 picks. So that's my tier 2, no fear players. Honestly, you don't have to worry about these guys. I think they're going to be all good pros. Now, Shedeur might need time to become a starter, depending where he goes. Who knows? We always think it's better to sit than to play right away, especially if you're going to a bad team that isn't really good around the quarterback. I think guys like Tyler Booker, Will Johnson, they're just plug and play guys. I think Armand Membu is in my second tier and might be in a first tier because the talent is there. But I think he needs polish. Like, I think he needs work. I think he needs to get stronger. So it's not like these guys are completely clean players and proven like Pro Bowl players right now, but they all have a chance to get to the Pro Bowl level. So that's my tier 2 first round picks 12 through 22. I will get to tier 3. And tier 3 is first round picks, because there's never 32 first round picks. They get taken in the first round. But, this year, I feel like there's about maybe 15 or 16 first round picks, maybe less than that, maybe 14. And then there's a big group of second round picks, back half of the first round into the second round, where you can debate players, positions, names. You can go back and forth as you build your boards. And I know a bunch of you out there are building your boards. I respect everybody's opinion, how you get to your conclusions. But most teams right now, 9 days away from the draft, have their boards selected. Most teams have them, their top 100, top 200. They have their top players slotted right now. And they might draft right off of that. They may trade accordingly to that. They may be going through scenarios with their draft boards in mind. Everybody's busy preparing for possible scenarios right now. All right, that's my tier 2, no fear players. I'm Brian Baldinger. I'm the host of The Best Football Show. Hope you come back and listen to another episode real soon. Thanks for joining me, everybody.